Welcome back to Let's Play Dark Souls. So, last time we ran a little bit long by accident. Still getting used to... hang on one second. Still getting used to timing these episodes since I'm doing some more detailed editing and such. And I also didn't expect the me jumping off stuff to take so long. Leave it to Benny Hill to make the time fly. Point being, I'm going to try to make these not take quite as long. Another thing I have noticed, well, one, like I mentioned, my D-pad, sometimes when I change items, I put away my shield. I noticed during the Tauros demon fight that that when I died, it was because I'd put my shield away, and in trying to shield, I did that. A few other little things like that. Also, it appears that multiplayer is... I've been told it's still active and that it's just something wrong with the occasionally Steam, or occasionally people are having problems on Steam with it. I've tried changing the download region, I've tried using the little add-in program that keeps track of nodes. I've obviously tried resetting the router, closing Steam, closing Dark Souls, you know, nothing really made a difference. So, oh, hang on. We have messages! Okay, so there's a, that's a plus. I also found out that there is a program that's designed to... I think a nice way to put it is basically it's supposed to detect some of the more common methods of cheating. In one of my past characters, I did come across somebody using a hacked weapon that petrified and parasited me and one-hit killed me and, well, things that aren't supposed to happen. Same as the floating message here is done with a cheat. But yeah, the fact that messages are appearing is a good sign. That means the multiplayer connectivity is back to its joyous self. And yeah, my little white soapstone is working. I'm gonna walk while I talk though, because you know, trying not to run these so long. I also remembered after going back to the bonfire last time that there is a shortcut I should have used. So hopefully I can get there without too much trouble. I may go ahead and just jump cut there unless anything interesting happens along the way. So, see you when I get there. Okay, so we're back to where we were. This door is locked, that's where we met Solaire. And then this bridge, which I'm kind of wanting to avoid. Gonna die, leave me alone. Yeah, I don't want to mess with him. If you come up here and supposed to aggravate him. Oh well, let's not tempt the dragon. This is the thing I was supposed to do, though. And look, bonfire. Instant shortcut.
Oh, there you are. Still keeping your marbles all together. Then go ahead. Don't be a nitwit. Never hurts to splurge when your days are numbered.
We've been over this, sir. It's not a good idea. I realized after last time that he sells the short bow, which is something I need. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and buy lots of arrows.
Oh, thank you. Come back.
It never hurts to keep lots of arrows. Okay, there we go. That is one nice thing now I'll get to it when I get to the next area. I miss the fact you can't dash up ladders in Dark Souls 1. Okay, so something I was thinking about is on the actual PlayStation 3 controller, the D-pad is broken up into 4 separate buttons, preventing you from accidentally getting multiple button presses. And just so you know, you can kill the dragon just by, well, you can get its, you can cut its tail off by, you know, shooting it here. Shooting its tail many times. My aim stinks. But you basically stand here and do this. Oh, or not. I've never actually made it come off the wall doing that before. But, you get a weapon if you shoot its tail off, or if you cut its tail off while fighting it up on the bridge, but I'm not doing that. I don't use the Drake sword, so I'm not going to spend a bunch of time doing it, just alerting you to the fact that it is a thing. Come on, get over here. Get off the... That is just so beautiful. Come on. Come on. He knows I'm wanting to kick him off the ledge and he won't get out here. Get over here. Haha. Oh joy. Up here is rats. Many rats. Oh, well, that works. The rats have a chance of dropping humanity. That rat has a chance of falling off the ledge. Now that I know you can use the rapier while shielding, that's very nice. Yeah, the rats are very poisonous, so right now I'd prefer to not deal with them. There is not an illusory wall here. That is a gorgeous view, a brick wall. Sometimes the messages are kind of useless. It's messages left by other players using the orange soapstone. Which thankfully in Dark Souls 2 was removed just for a menu item. Instead of using an item slot, you just open the menu and there's a leave message option. Up here is something I really don't need to mess with, but I'm gonna go up there anyway! Yeah, that. Black Knight. And he's gonna follow me all the way down here, isn't he? May have been a very bad decision. I'm gonna stand here on this ladder. He's not gonna go away. Okay, maybe he did. That over there is a bonfire that I'd really like to get to, but as you can tell by the shadow that glitches through here, that's where the dragon's at. You're traditionally supposed to fight the dragon to get it. Usually do the run past it approach. But yeah, I'm not gonna mess with that right now. That's very time consuming and it's early in the game. Not something I normally do. Also pig. Pig of death. Death pig. Do not mess with the pig. You can backstab the pig. Which, on a... well... this pig does not have armor on one spot of its body. It's backside. So it's quite a literal backstab. Will you stop being swordish? Yes, because swordish is now a word. You stop being so thirdly. Okay, I'll take your armor though. Anyway, the trick here is to not mess with the pig. Or you can trick the pig into running into the fire, at which point it will more or less instantly die. But for some reason it's not aggroing at me, so I'm gonna leave it alone. And the annoying spearman that will take 3 lifetimes to get to me. over here. The pig is watching me. Oh, so little stamina. Oh, you twerp. You are hard enough to kill as it is without turtling. I mean, without healing. Without what broke my shield. I had my shield up. And I wasn't out of stamina. There we go. You're dealt with. I swear the ones with the spears win for the most annoying hollow of this area. Wood. Backstab you. Ow! You timed that just right. And you die anyway. Oh great, there's another one coming. That pig is watching. They're always watching. Pigs. What? Okay, they're getting smarter. I guess that's the closest to a berserk attack I will ever get. There's a couple things you can... Oh, that's right. If somebody kindles... Well, you'll find out what kindling is later. If somebody kindles the last bonfire you save at, you get a free charge of Estus. Oh, there we go. That's what I need. If you actually throw it into the fire... Oh! Okay, near the firework. Wrong button! Sure, let's do that. Okay. I was not expecting that to work. And I got the helmet. That's an unusual drop. It's literally the severed head of a Angor. Be worn on the head as a surprisingly sound piece of protective gear. It's a surprisingly popular item to wear, but it weighs a lot, so I prefer not to. Also, there's something I must do. I see you. Can't touch me. See, the other thing you can do is drop straight from down there and get into here. The pig can't follow you, he gets kind of stuck. But then you end up trapped in here with all the hollows. Because that one is trying to bait you into chasing him, so the other ones can play a merry game of ambush. Okay, so... I rotate the camera as I enter a room to try to take a quick scan for enemies so that stuff like that doesn't happen. Roll, roll, roll like your life depends on it, because it does. Why are you rolling that way? The direction on rolling when targeted is not an exact science in Dark Souls 1. When you're locked on in Dark Souls 1, like I mentioned before, your roll direction is limited to certain directions. I'm still used to Dark Souls 2 and the fully fluid roll directions, so that gets me in trouble a lot. Oh, bad placement of the rapier. Mystery key. Does it open the mystery shack? Let's find out. That was a very bad move on my part. You see me so frantic. Ooh, didn't see that hole there. That hole came out of nowhere. The hole is made of nowhere. Well, a hole is made of nothing. Well, it's the absence of something, which could be construed as being it's made of nothing. But point being, item. Yay! An undead soul. I need to quit jumping off of things. I have limited Estus. I got slightly spoiled. In Dark Souls 2, you can buy an item, a life gem, which is kind of like a very slow regeneration Estus. You can buy lots of them, and I tend to carry them around to cover for little fall damage stunts like that. Boss ahead. There's no boss here, but just in case, let's chug an Estus. There's no. I was right. I mean, there is a boss ahead, but I mean, until the end of the game, there's always a boss ahead. Oh, the Baldur Knights. We're gonna sneak up on him because he's a pain to fight. I said sneak! Sneak does not mean run. Yes, if you can backstab him, that makes this much easier. Baldur Knights are surprisingly tough. I mean, they're much tougher than the Hollows, which are generally all the players come up against up to now. So they are often the new player's rude awakening to the world that is Dark Souls. Also a shield. Let's check this shield. What's the, oh, required parameter, strength. I don't have strength. You know what? I'm going to show you how to rate a message. Rate message plus. Dark Souls 2 removed the plus or minus rating just in lieu of a general rating. The idea was that, for example, that illusory wall message that was a lie, you could give it a negative rating to tell other players that see it that it's a invalid rating or a lie, because you know part of the idea is that you can trick players, such as putting shortcut here on the edge of a cliff. Yeah, you're limited to certain pre-made messages. You can't type your own, which, given the nature of people, is probably a wise decision. Dark Souls 2 does expand on the messages and allow you to make much more creative messages, I guess. You can combine messages like illusory wall here and then bonfire, instead of just illusory wall or bonfire. We've not found an illusory wall yet, or I would explain that a bit further. It's basically it looks like a wall, but if you attack it, it disintegrates. I think I've gotten his attention. Yes, I have. I do not want both of their attention. Get over here, you twerp! Get over here. Well, since you won't come up here, I'll just lure the Baldur Knight up here, because I'm not fighting both of you. Not walking into an obvious trap again. Not what I was trying to do on multiple There we go, that's what I was trying to do. 160. Oh, now you decide to come up here, you twerp. There we go, and I'll just kick you down the hallway because you weigh nothing. I just swore there was something this way. You can go that way, but I'm not going to do that right at this juncture. There's stuff. Weakness ghost. Try a plunging it. I think not. I think not. Not suicidal. I'm basically baiting for a backstab. I'm not even gonna lie, I'm just circling around watching for an opening. Also, if you notice, while you're in the middle of the backstab animation, you are, for all intents and purposes, invincible, aside from certain exceptions. The exact cutoff point for that invincibility does come before the end of the animation. In Dark Souls 2, it's a little more unforgiving. Like, my first time ever getting petrified in Dark Souls 2 was... petrification is a status ailment, in which case you instantly die if the little gauge builds up to full, you turn to stone. You also have half of your maximum health until you pay somebody to remove the lingering curse. Only certain enemies can inflict it. Well, the first time in Dark Souls 2 I got hit with Petrify. I was backstabbing somebody in the middle of a cloud of petrification gas, and, well, I could not get out of the gas fast enough. And that's how that happened. Down here, as you can probably guess from the sound, is a blacksmith. Andre of Astora.
Well, you must be a new arrival. I'm Andre of Astora. If you require smithing, then speak to me.
Special, oh, wrong button. Gesture. Okay, repair equipment. Another thing I like in Dark Souls 2, your basic objects repair themselves at the bonfire. They also have much lower durability. Dark Souls 1, you tend to not break your weapons between bonfires. So they tried different systems. The reason I'm not super fond of having to manually repair them is certain weapons have special attacks or special abilities that drain durability every time you use them. And, well, in Dark Souls 1, you don't have the nice
Don't get
little...
yourself killed. Neither of us want to see you go hollow.
Underneath the weapon, like underneath my shield and dagger right there, in Dark Souls 2, there's a little red bar, like a health bar, that shows you its durability. Dark Souls 1 lacks that, so sometimes you forget to keep track of durability. Like, for example, 200 of 200. In Dark Souls 2, it'd be 20 of 20. They cut... Somebody kindled that bonfire again. They tried different things.
Well, hello again. You seem to be doing all right.
Yes, I am.
Need anything forged?
Yes, I might. Reinforce. I have one Titanite shard, and that Bandit's Knife is going to be important for a while. I would need another Titanite shard to do that further. Let's see if he sells any. Yes, he does. I'll need the Crest of Artorias later. The weapon and armor smith box basically let you do all the tasks that the smith would do at the bonfire, aside from a few certain things that will come up later in the game. I am going to go ahead and buy another Titanite shard so that I can buff that further. I do not have enough souls to buy 2 Titanite shards.
Don't get your... Neither of us want...
Actually, I need 1,600 plus the cost of the reinforcement, so I may as well use these 3.
Well, hello. You need any...
And, oh, I need to buy the Titanite. Okay, watch, and his is funny if you walk away.
Oi, where are you off to? What's going on with you, eh? I thought you had gone hollow there.
I like Andre. He's nice.
Most weapons and armor are mighty sturdy indeed, but every hunk of metal has its breaking point. If you notice durability running low, it's time to repair. You can ask a blacksmith like myself, or do it on your own with a grindstone. The nice thing about weapons, they never betray you, so pay them a little respect, eh? I'll be seeing you then. Be careful out there.
But the idea was that you'd come back to the blacksmith in Dark Souls 1 and have your weapons restored, or buy the repair kit and do it yourself at the bonfire. Well, for the most part, it meant people didn't go to the blacksmith very often, so they just went ahead and attached that function to the bonfire in Dark Souls 2, while adding functions to the blacksmith that you would require from them. Such as if a weapon breaks, you cannot repair it at the bonfire, you'd have to go to the blacksmith. But in Dark Souls 2, you start the game with the ability to teleport between bonfires, so getting to the blacksmith isn't a large deal. But since we've made a decent bit of progress and decent bit of time, I'm going to go ahead and pause here. I will see you next time.